When we first started, we were Northeastern Wisconsin Electronics. So with Dad and the three partners, that was a partnership, not a corporation. And then in 1977, when we went to incorporate, we were going to become BayTech2020, and that was taken in the state of Wisconsin. So that's why we have a K at the end of BayTech, was going to be B-A-Y-T-E-C-H Technologies. So that's why the variance. My remembrance is that Jim Charlier, a good friend of Dad's, he was a pretty good artist. So my recollection is Jim did that as a surprise and gave it to Dad and Giles and Bob. So the four feathers were representative of the four guys, and the band, or the ring, tied them together.
Yeah, Larry's got a lot better memory than I do.
We had been doing lots and lots of different things as BayTech. So we had fishing lure things we were working on, and we had the napkin dispenser, and we had condiment dispensers, and we had all kinds of crazy stuff. And so we were missing, there was a lot of misses in that. And so we decided to focus everybody on games, especially the shareholders, and get our stuff together and keep our heads down in one direction.
So going from BayTech to BayTech Games was kind of an obvious, right? We needed to narrow in. We were all over the place, and so we knew that adding games was going to help us focus on being the best at making coin-operated games in the world. And so we knew that then we should update our logo and not just slap games on to what we currently had. And you know, it was a long process. It's a big deal. Changing your logo and your look and your brand feel it's a big undertaking, and especially when we had something for so long. And so I felt like maybe we would never get there, but you know, I knew that we would know once we saw it, and then it just happened, and it was like, this is it, this is the right look, it's the right feel, and you know, we had a great team along the way.
Andy probably could tell the story of how involved I was better than I can, but that was a big deal. That was the first time we had changed it, and I wanted to respect Dad and his partners, and by then I think we had lost Bob Ward. Yeah, and there was a memorial component of it as well. So yes, I was very heavily involved in that. It was a lot of fun and a lot of anxiety on trying to honor the original and moving us forward at the same time.
One of the big things with Larry was that he wanted to keep the 4 tines, because that was special from the first logo. And after he said that, I mean, it started rolling pretty good, because at the same time they just came out with the new mission, vision, and values, and these were a big part of BayTech and a big part moving forward. So the 5 stars represents the 5 values of the company at the time, and it actually kind of took on a different meaning. The 5 stars kind of spilled over into the 5-star family gatherings and the 5-star quality. And then on top of it, back in 2005, our mission and vision was to create coin-operated games. And I mean, that's basically the way arcades were. You had a token, so we had to have that. I felt like we had to have that in the logo, since that was a big part of, you know, the difference between a video game at home and an arcade game or redemption game was the token piece. So that surrounds BayTech, and then on top of it, LT said he really wants BayTech to be bold. So that's what we landed on, the italicized BayTech that really stood out over the games portion.
We decided a couple years after the logo to add the tagline, and it really is, it's what you would consider our brand promise, right? And so we hired a firm to come in and help us through that. We knew we wanted to have something, but it had to be special and it had to be meaningful. And so we worked with a company to help them. They helped us come up with what our competitive advantage was. And I love that journey and I love the story, because they asked, you know, a bunch of us at BayTek what we thought it was, and they asked our customers, and it was so funny. We were on the same page of, well, it must be our high quality, right? It's our 5-star quality. And they're like, nope, it's not that. And then we're like, well, then it has to be our 5-star customer service. I mean, we have the best customer service, and we support our customers worldwide. And they're like, nope, it's not that either. So we're like, great games, they make a lot of money, they're, you know, they're fun, and they're like, no, it's not that either. So we're like, okay, what is it? We give up, and they're like, it's your people, it's your culture, it is the passion that you guys put into your games from ideation to shipping and service, right? And so I think we're so humble, right? We have a humble culture. And so to think that our competitive advantage was us was, I wouldn't have ever thought that. So, and then we just, you know, we had a couple different taglines that they worked with us on, and passion was a word that just stuck. It just stuck, and we knew, because it truly is. It's without our people, you know, we're nothing. And so it is the passion that every BayTecher puts in, and it's kind of even the term BayTecher, right?
People don't say the word passion without knowing that it's about the emotion of love. We don't want people to just really like their job. We want them to love their job. So passion in should inspire folks to say, BayTek is a great place to work. It should mean that I'm okay spending a lot of my life working at BayTek, and that's equally important or as important as some of the traditions we hold to our own family values. We want that passion in our games, we want that in everything we do, so we put it into our work, we put it into our lifestyles, and we want to feel that.
So for 40 years we made games very successfully. It's hard. It's, as we grow, we got to invent. As Bobby says, we have to schedule inventions 5 or 6 or 7 times a year. The other reason, and maybe even more primary, is we get to get paid once when we manufacture games. As we move into entertainment, we have many, many more opportunities for recurring income or recurring revenue. Sometimes it'll be recurring revenue from games, but also other things. The other reason is that we're more confident in our team to allow us to broaden our horizons a little bit, where when we went back to 77 or 2005 and became games only was because we really entrust ourselves to stay focused, and I have more confidence in the team today than I've ever had before. It's absolutely scary. It's creating the direct opposite, or potentially creates the direct opposite of the focus we had when we went to games only. Entertainment is a very, very, very broad category. And so again, back to the trusting our people, we will have to figure out what we're going to say yes to, and more importantly, what we're going to say no to. So yeah, there's a scary element to it. There's also a confidence.
So entertainment just was a key word, and so we were going to change the mission and vision, and then it's like, well, you know, if we really want to believe that we can be a great entertainment company that's known worldwide for entertainment, then why not change our name and truly believe that ourselves?
I think it's time for something new. You know, it's the evolution of the company. It goes from BayTek to BayTek Games to BayTek Entertainment, and we're growing and we're getting better every step.
So what we did is we made BayTek front and center. We intentionally left entertainment lowercase and kind of a lighter weight. And why we wanted to do that was because we're in the entertainment industry now, we were in the amusement industry before, but we're more than the products that we make. We're BayTek, we're a family, and each of us brings something to the table that makes us unique, and I think that's why it's important that we stress BayTek. The imagery that we use is the star, and we did that for a lot of reasons. One of them being we took the star from the BayTek Games logo, and that had reasons that we heard of, that it's 5-star quality, they stood for our 5 values. So we wanted to keep that and honor that and bring it into the new logo. We also felt that the star really lends itself to the entertainment industry. So when you think about getting into this space, this new space, we wanted to make sure that our logo would fit and wouldn't look out of place. Within the star, we've created an arrow, and what's cool about the arrow is that it's pointing us forward and upward like an arrow does. So if you look at the angle of the arrow, it's going forward, it's going upward. But what's neat about it is that we didn't do a perfect 45-degree angle. We intentionally didn't want that to be, because we know our journey to get through growth and development is not going to be perfect. There's going to be bumps along the way, there's going to be messes, but no matter what, we're going to be moving in that direction and looking toward that direction. Also within the star is something that is pretty subtle and not everyone would see, but if you look at the negative space within the star, you'll see 2 sevens that are formed. And we did that because we just want to pay honor and respect to our 1977 origin. The star is made up of 4 unique shapes, and much like the previous 2 BayTek logos, they had the 4 tines. We wanted to honor that because that is important, and we wanted to carry that through to our future. And so what we did was we separated the star so that it was in 4 parts. And if you look at these parts, and if you were to see them separately, they would look peculiar or aimless, or they would be confusing, you wouldn't know what they were. When the 4 pieces come together, they really create something bigger and better than they could ever be on their own. And I think that that's a lot about what BayTek is. I think we all bring something unique and different to BayTek, and we wouldn't be who BayTek is if we didn't have each of us, because we are what makes it great. So the red in our logo, the darker red that you'll see in the arrow, is actually the BayTek Games red. We kept that red to kind of pay homage to our foundation and who we are. But right alongside that darker red is a brighter red that's more vibrant, it has more movement, kind of showing us that this is where we are and our future is bright. Red is the color of passion, which is another reason why it's part of our logos, because we are passionate about what we do, and not a lot of companies would put passion as a word that they would like to describe themselves with. It feels a little intimate, a little personal, but I love that about BayTek because we're passionate about it, and we use our heart and we lead with our heart, and that's what makes us special. So the new tagline, or there isn't a new tagline, we're keeping the tagline, but we have a new treatment for it to kind of keep in line with our new branding. And it's a very simple look, very clean, but what we've done is incorporated kind of a heart monitor line, so you can see kind of a heartbeat within it, because really that's what it comes down to, is our heart.